and Cain shared an unbreakable bond. Their mother, Esther, felt their synchronized movements and believed their souls were intertwined. But fate had other plans. The day of their birth, complications arose. Ada arrived safely, but Cain was declared stillborn. Esther's world shattered as doctors took away her son. What she did not know was that Cain still had the faintest signs of life, a fact discovered by a childless nurse named Margaret, who, in a moment of desperation, made a decision that would alter all their lives forever. Margaret, unable to bear her childless existence, took Cain and raised him as her own, renaming him Noah. She forged documents and built a life for him, convincing herself that she had saved him. Meanwhile, Esther poured all her love into Ada, never knowing that her son lived just miles away. As the years passed, Ada grew into a kind-hearted, intuitive young woman. Though she was deeply loved, an unexplainable emptiness lingered. She felt a presence missing from her life, a piece of her soul she could never quite grasp. She often dreamed of a shadowy figure, a familiar yet unknown entity that made her heart ache. Noah, raised in privilege, never felt entirely at home in his own life. Despite Margaret's devotion, he often found himself gazing at his reflection, sensing something was missing. His dreams were haunted by a sorrowful voice calling out a name he did not know, Ada. He felt restless, as if a part of him had been lost long ago. One fateful afternoon, as Ada walked through a bustling marketplace, she caught sight of a boy who looked eerily familiar. Her heart pounded as she observed him, his gestures mirroring her own. She felt an inexplicable pull toward him, a connection she could not explain. Noah, too, felt the strange sensation. When their eyes met, time seemed to stop. It was as if he were staring into a mirror, yet the reflection was not his own. Confusion and recognition warred within him. Ada took a hesitant step forward, but Noah, overwhelmed, turned away and left, his heart racing with emotions he could not understand. That evening, Ada told Esther about the encounter. Something deep within Esther's heart stirred. Could it be? Could the child she had lost truly be alive? Desperate for answers, she began investigating, revisiting the hospital records from that tragic day. The deeper she dug, the more inconsistencies she uncovered. Meanwhile, Noah's dreams became more vivid, visions of sorrowful eyes and a name, Ada, that sent chills down his spine. Margaret, sensing the truth closing in, grew restless. She had spent years dreading the moment when Noah would discover what she had done. She had stolen him from a life that was not hers to claim, and now, she would have to face the consequences. The confrontation was inevitable. When Noah pressed Margaret for answers, she broke down in tears, confessing the terrible truth. He was not her son by birth. He had a sister. A mother who had mourned him for years. Everything he had ever known crumbled in an instant. Noah was shattered. The woman who had raised him had lied to him his entire life. He felt as if he no longer knew who he was. Anger, betrayal, and grief consumed him. If he was not truly Noah, then who was he? And could he ever forgive the woman who had stolen his past? Ada and Noah finally reunited, but it was not the joyful moment one might imagine. Noah was lost, torn between the love he had known and the truth he had uncovered. Ada, though overjoyed, feared losing him again just as quickly as she had found him. The road to reconciliation was not easy. Their bond was undeniable, but years of separation had built walls that were not so easily torn down. As they struggled to bridge the gap, tragedy struck. Ada was in a devastating accident. Noah, despite his own turmoil, rushed to her side, holding her hand as she fought for her life. In that moment, he realized something undeniable: she was his family. He could not turn away from her, no matter how much pain the truth had brought. Margaret, overwhelmed by guilt, turned herself in. She confessed everything to Esther, hoping for some form of redemption. The two mothers, one who had lost a child and one who had stolen one, stood before each other, both broken, both filled with sorrow. To Margaret's surprise, Esther chose to forgive. She understood that love, though often flawed, was at the heart of every action. Noah, however, struggled to forgive. The betrayal ran too deep. Yet with Ada's gentle guidance, he slowly began to heal. She reminded him that love was not about perfection, but about the choices they made to hold on to the people who mattered. Just when it seemed they could finally move forward, another obstacle emerged. Noah fell gravely ill. Doctors were uncertain if he would survive. Ada, devastated, refused to leave his side. She had only just found him. She would not let fate take him away again. A rare treatment offered a chance at survival, but it required a risky bone marrow transplant. Without hesitation, Ada volunteered. Her love for her twin outweighed any fear of the procedure. The surgery was grueling, but their bond carried them through. As Noah recovered, he realized that fate had brought them back together for a reason. He had spent so long mourning what was taken from him, but now, he had the chance to build something new. He chose to let go of resentment and embrace the love he had been given. In a final act of closure, Noah visited Margaret in prison. She had stolen his past, but she had also raised him, loved him in her own flawed way. He offered her something she never thought she deserved: forgiveness. He could not change what had happened, but he could choose how it shaped him moving forward. As time passed, new challenges arose. A career opportunity threatened to separate the twins once more. Noah was offered a job abroad, while Ada had the chance to attend her dream university. The thought of parting again was unbearable. But this time, they would not let distance divide them. They found a way to support each other's dreams while staying connected. They had spent too many years apart. Now, they would make every moment count. Years later, they returned to the place where their story had begun, their mother's home. But this time, they were whole. Side by side, they faced the future, proving that love transcends time, pain, and loss. No matter where life took them, they knew one thing: they were two halves of the same soul, destined to find each other, again and again, for eternity.